All right, so I want to give a big shout out to. Well, first, before I touch on that, I want to say sometimes you're lucky enough to where you see stuff coming from a mile away, and at least for me, uh, seeing talented people doing talented shit in talented places, starting somewhere, and you can see, like when they say a player is going to be a good coach, like you see him playing, like people, people say that about Rondo. He's a good player he looks like he'll be a good coach someday. I saw this for JJ Reddick when he finally decided to retire and become an ESPN analyst. Uh, First and foremost, because he's smart as shit and he's been a awesome podcaster since he's been podcasting for shit almost like 5-6 years. He switched networks multiple times, but I followed him because he's really good at what he does. So I say that to say, I feel like, I'm a fan of what ESPN is doing with JJ Reddick on First Take with Stephen A. Smith, because he is, since Max has been gone, and I never thought Max was a good, if you want to use foil for Stephen A. Smith, I never thought they meshed 100% well. I thought, like, after time it just became like, oh, okay, I could kind of see it. But I feel like JJ Reddick, they should give that First Take seat to JJ Reddick now, because at least for basketball conversation, which I've seen they kind of have done, because JJ Reddick, I don't know if you guys seen his clips on ESPN, but he's been putting Stephen A. Smith in his place a whole lot and dropping knowledge on his head when it comes to basketball stuff, making good points. Nobody was talking about DeMar DeRozan MVP potential before JJ Reddick brought it up, and now people are actually acknowledging it, which
it'll go away.
The DeMar DeRozan?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
He's not even gonna be the best player on his team. He can't be the MVP. He's not even be the best player on his team. Now, go ahead though.
Okay. I think
Zach LaVine's gonna average more points. That's all I'm saying. Zach LaVine's gonna average more points to him. You can't be MVP averaging, not being the highest scorer on your team.
I think the circumstances of that team is different, though. I don't think it's just the highest scorer. But I think JJ Reddick should have that seat. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. Like, I haven't sat and watched First Take in years. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I think you guys are kind of on the same wave with me. I
dabble.
I barely watch clips. Like, every now and then Carolyn will show me something like, "What do you think of Stephen A. Smith?" This, and I said, "Well, Stephen A. Smith's an idiot," but yeah, I think they should give that seat to. I think they should give that seat to JJ. I think he's done really, really well. I heard and I listened to one of his pods, and he was talking about he's going to start doing color commentary. I don't know how that's going to go, because that's a different world. But yeah, I just want to hear you guys' thoughts about. Rell said you heard him dabble a little bit. Rell, Jesse, have you heard JJ Reddick on First Take or any of? He's done
I would say
NBA Today too.
I would say that, like, from somebody who. See, he's done just a complete 180. Like he was by far, I would say, probably outside of Leitner, like probably the most hated college player I've ever seen, like, of all time. Like outside of Christian Leitner, like I think it has to be
more than Grayson Allen.
More, yeah, yes. They used to yell, "Fuck you, JJ." They used to yell, "Fuck you, JJ."
People hated Grayson Allen because he was just dirty.
He was just dirty, but
and then on top of that, he's a Duke player.
They hated Grayson Allen because he was dirty, and he was a Duke player.
And he wore Duke,
but he wasn't that good though. Like, JJ Reddick would bust your ass though. Like JJ Reddick will give you 34. I mean, I'm just saying, like, just the hindsight of his full career, watching him since he was like, running off screens at Duke now, being older now. Like, I mean, I like him on First Take. I do like him talking basketball. I mean, I hope Stephen A. Smith can put his ego in check, because JJ Reddick seems to check his ass on occasion. So I mean, I just hope people put the Eagles in check because it's a good banter.
JJ gave him the I played and you did it. I don't know if y'all heard that one time.
Yeah,
he gave one of those.
He said I saw it. He said I played.
He gave one of those, and I was like, okay, snap on him. It's like, what are you gonna say, Stephen? Man, you can't say shit.
I mean, he's a good combative. I just hope. I mean, I hope it sticks.
I literally, I can see it. Like, I can see it with JJ, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan of his podcast.
It's not going to happen because Stephen A. doesn't want that no more. He doesn't want. Yeah, he wants a Stephen A. versus the world type of thing. So he's purposely set it up.
Basically, his point being proven right.
Huh?
But basically, he has to have.
Apparently, I didn't know this either.
He really Stephen A. is actually like to get a JJ Reddick is should kind of be thankful to Stephen A. because that was like the only way he's really gonna get on First Take is because Stephen A. had a list.
Apparently, did you guys know like 2 years ago? Do you guys know 2 years ago Skip's contract was up and ESPN was going for him again?
Mm-hmm. That was last year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah. Oh, last year. I didn't know that.
What they were gonna do is
want to skip back. Skip his ratings.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
What they were gonna do is, and Stephen A. was pulling for it. What they were gonna do is like because they weren't gonna replace.
And then Max. Fox just extended them. Yeah, Fox.
They weren't gonna replace Max. So what they were gonna try to do is create, and they wanted to pump up like people going to watch ESPN Plus. So the show that Stephen A. has on ESPN Plus, it was gonna be World. It was gonna be a Stephen A. and Skip Bayless show. And even then, last year, what it really was is since, Fox is just like Fox Sports is its own entity now, since Fox got taken over by Disney and they didn't take their sports or news, they were going to create a contract where Skip could stay on FS1 and still do the ESPN Plus show.
Really?
So, yeah, they were trying to like.
They be giving that man too much power.
They were going to pull out all the stops from him, and then somebody just finally shut it down. But
I would love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, my only thing is like I see them do the same exact thing they've been doing.
I mean,
all day.
Like, as somebody who kind of like, because I fucking have no life and I work from home, like I kind of tap into like these shows throughout the day now. And
the take shows. You watch the take shows.
I mean, like First Take is on like in the morning for me, even though like I have like when I'm having my coffee and I'm in a fucking Zoom meeting, like it's just on, it's just so but I'm not really like, it's not something I like have to watch, but as I go through ESPN's lineup now throughout the day, like the ESPN lineup is pretty ass, like, so it's Yeah,
it used to be. I mean, we've talked about this on the pod, I think a couple times now, but obviously, like it goes. If we're just talking about ESPN lineup, it goes from again. If you want to watch First Take, whatever. Then that 1 hour where you get Jalen and Jacoby is cool, and then you gotta wait all the way until fucking PTI. Like that's like I don't even indulge with it around the horn. I remember when I used to care about around the horn.
Speaking of, did you know Mike Smith is on NBC?
Yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that. I got Peacock.
Called what? Brothers from Another?
Yeah, I got Peacock.
There's just
I just look at losses like that of like people like Michael Smith. And it's just not even saying like
who's hella smart and really good. He's hella
smart, but like I hate him as an analyst, and I don't like listening to him. But he's just he's just somebody that ESPN could have used like right now. Like honestly, I look at their lineup and it's literally like, and the only people I really consider myself listening to is Stephen A. Smith and at 9:30 Scott Van Pelt because he knows his shit about gambling. That's it.
I mean, for me, it's really like. I don't know. I don't really listen to any of this stuff no more. But if I'm going to listen to anybody, if I'm going for entertainment, like this is the.
I had Chris Broussard on Fox on First Things First. If you get up that early,
I don't really like enjoy listening to Stephen A. because it's like sometimes the act is a little too much for me now. Because even the clip, like there's a clip where he's talking about, what's his name complaining.
Julius Randle
complaining, and the clip starts with him yelling, shut the hell up. And it's like you're just yelling for yelling's sake. Like
the theatricals of what he does is now outdated now.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like it's just too much at times.
We talked about this, like I said, what he does.
He started the whole thing yelling, and then finally got to his point, all calm and everything. And it was like, what was the point of you yelling this whole time? And I'm I usually don't have a problem with him screaming and all that stuff.
I don't know if you guys watch. It makes
sense when you just do it.
I don't know if you guys watch the halftime shows now. Like, I think we talked about this too. Now that obviously since Maria Taylor's moved on, they're not playing with the halftime show. They got Greeny and they got Wilbon, they got Jalen and they got Stephen A. Right, so they're not playing. They got all their big guns. Probably 70% of whoever they paying, like the people they're paying the most for as far as talent goes. But they, like, you can tell, and like, it's Michael Wilbon, like one of the best sport writers in media, like one of the most decorated guys in media. And they're all just like yield to Stephen A. Smith, like the whole fucking halftime thing. And I just be sitting there, I'm like this is, I don't need a mini first take in between video and in between games.
Michael Wilbon he's older, he don't have, he's older.
Same thing but Jalen Rose does the same thing. They all yield to Stephen A. And Greeny throws to Stephen A. Smith. They let him talk the longest, and Jalen says a little something, and Wilbon says a little something.
That has to be like ESPN saying, we pay you $30 million. We're gonna give you it's your offense, and everybody just eats.
I also feel like it's the host's job to see that, where it's like, I know Stephen A. Smith, like if we're gonna say this, Stephen A. Smith is let's say Kevin Durant on the Warriors, right? Like, he's obviously the best player, right? He has all the everything. But you got Wilbon right there, where he's Steph. Like, what he does, like he's fucking Steph. And then I guess you want to call Jalen, Clay. That's fine.
Unfortunately, even with this new one, even with the ESPN games,
I really feel like all those comparisons was really bad. But I
almost called Jalen Draymond, but I was like, I guess I could call him Clay.
It's more like Wilbon's Draymond. He's gonna
maybe I'm just a Wilbon guy.
No,
anything Wilbon talks about, I'm ready to eat it up. But I know it's gonna come from a place of knowledge.
The reason why I said Wilbon is a little bit of everything, but he doesn't go too crazy on everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like Draymond. He can do everything. Like, that's so bad.
And honestly, even then they changed the halftime show, I still don't watch that shit.
It's still bad. But the thing is,
it's too short. It's too short.
Well, here's what I would say. Like, we had this conversation before, but the difference between them and TNT is where people don't get it mixed up, or where people get it mixed up is like ESPN focuses so much in prepping you for the game that they do all these things, all these shows, everything. They make all their shows end early, and the game doesn't start till 5. And they have their pregame show starting at 3:30, 4 o'clock, all the way until the game starts. And you got 2 hours of them just talking and going all over the place. And nobody really wanted, like, you turn it off. Well, versus, TNT, they turn it on, starts 15 minutes before the show. And we got this one. What do you guys think? Oh, it's going to be good. This happened during the week, and let's get a quick take on it. All right, cool. Boom. And it's constant, like, they know that they also don't take themselves so seriously. So they want to joke and laugh versus, on there, they do take themselves very seriously and do take what they have to say very seriously. The reason why you guys made the point of, like, talking about Stephen A. getting all the talk, it's his show, man. He runs ESPN. Y'all got to understand, he runs ESPN.
It's his world. We just live in it.
I have no problems with it. And I'm never gonna be upset with a black man taking over. My thing only is just like, you don't need him on everything. That's my thing, because it's just like, he's not.
Honestly, if ESPN could figure out a way to put him on Monday Night Countdown, they would.
I'm surprised they haven't. I'm surprised they haven't put him in the booth.
Figure it out.
I'm surprised they haven't put him in the booth.
I'm saying they would figure it out.
I'm just honestly, the ESPN. Like, they're like the Nike of sports. They just fuck up. Like, the fact that they have the Manning cast and they won't even let them. They ain't got enough bag to put the Manning cast in the booth for at least 2 or 3 games or something.
But you're talking like, but this is where you're messing up. You're saying they don't got enough of the bag to put them in the booth. You know how much they had to pay.
Peyton said Peyton said he didn't want to do all that.
They don't want to go to the booth. There's no money. They don't want.
Yeah, there's no money. Peyton, you think Peyton needs money?
Money talks.
Peyton Manning needs money.
Do you know how much they offer Peyton? Like they offer Peyton a lot.
Rell, they tried to get Peyton on the Manning cast last year, and they told him going to the booth. They offered him, they sent him a blank check, and he was like, "Nah, I'm cool."
He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it.
He doesn't want to do it.
He doesn't want to dedicate that much time to the sport.
I'm just saying, even if it was for half a season on some, it's better. Like I believe it's coming because this shit is so good. I believe it's coming.
The Manning cast is good.
The Manning cast is good as is.
They need to work on it.
The only shit that I watch. I can't watch Louis Reddick and all the other bullshit on Monday night.
I don't even have a problem.
I don't watch Monday night games.
I don't have a problem with Louis Reddick, but it is what it is. I like you're saying money talks. This is one of those things. It's not a check that
not to Peyton Manning.
Talk about Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning got money, and he still gets that much money coming in.
Money talks.
Endorsements, like it ain't money for him.
But rich people always still want more money. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not, and that's how he got it. He got the Manning cast. You know how much they threw at him for the Manning cast? He is making more money than all three of those guys, the Monday Night Football guys.
Right,
he's making more money to do what 10 games? He's not even doing the full 6 games.
And he doesn't have to seriously do the game. Like they're bullshitting.
They need to work on it, but it's good so far. It's cool.
Yeah, it gives you another outlet to just watching the game.
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's do it. Lego.
All right, welcome to episode 93 of Those Millennials Podcast. Today I'm your host, K the Classic. I almost dropped my mic. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, my boys in real life. Jesse's here. What's up, Jess?
Yo, what's good?
Rell's here. What's going on, Rell?
Watch this Versus. It still hasn't started.
It still actually hasn't started?
Still hasn't started.
Yeah, so we're recording this on a Thursday. Let me get this time right. About 7:00. We're recording this during Versus, so we won't have the results for you this episode. Happy holidays, by the way. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. We enjoyed our week off.
Also during the Cowboys game. How you feeling, Rell?
Rell! Oh, man. Rell, man. So let me get this off real quick. So Rell don't want to turn this camera. That's fine. So this year, man, Jesse, I want to get to ask you about your Thanksgiving because I'm actually interested about your Thanksgiving. But Rell got to spend Thanksgiving with me and my family. It was cool. But the highlight for me was watching him watch the Cowboys lose in what will now be known for the end of time as the penalty Thanksgiving Bowl. 14 penalties on both sides. Sloppy officiating. And even in the end, Cowboys had a chance to win it. Rell, any comments? You want to talk about the game at all, or?
As I'm looking over my podcast script, this wasn't on it, so let's go back to the script. Chris, go ahead and voice of God, go ahead and note this, please.
Okay, Jess, I'm actually interested. I've never asked you this. I've always wanted to ask you this. What is a normal Thanksgiving in a Nigerian household? Like, what are the plates like? Like, I'm very interested in this.
I mean, I would say they try to do it as much, it's a mixture of everything. I would say, like, my mom tries to make it a mixture of traditional, like, Nigerian food, which is like, jollof rice, you get your stew, you got, if you're at a house that's throwing the party or throwing the get together, you're gonna have your fufu, you're gonna have your bowl of soup, you're gonna have, what I'm saying, you're gonna have all that stuff. You're gonna have your puff. So you don't have a lot. You don't have a lot of
these
that.
Are not just this. Just sound like strands of loud. Like, what's going on? Sound like flour.
Damn, Jesse, nigga, you invite me over. You tell me y'all got puff, nigga.
It sounds like strands of loud right now.
I will tell people this. I always say this: puff, and beignets are not that far apart. Not really that far.
Oh, real
apart.
shit. I have seen puff puffs. I never tried it though. It looks it's an interesting dish.
But there's that, you know, you got your fish, you got all that stuff, but then, you know, just still try to keep it American traditional with the, like, you know, we don't eat turkey. Like, I don't like turkey, and my brother.
We had turkey wings this year, and I was actually happy and thankful.
My mom
does, turkey.
Now my mom does like a roast beef, like, or you know, something like that, which is really good. You know, bread rolls, you know, greens. So you got a little mac and cheese, you know, mashed potatoes. So that all gets in there too. With the traditionals, we at times we did a sweet potato pie, not homemade. Usually that's when, you know, you have like a girlfriend or something, or you got like an ex or something that can make that, or family, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brittany.
Hey,
make the mac.
Shout out to Brittany.
Her mom can make the mac and cheese like no other. So, you know, and the sweet potato pie. So, you know, you get a little mixture of everything. So
okay,
it ain't, you know, it ain't this different thing going on. You know, me and my brothers, we sit around watching football. My parents actually sit down there with us.
It was great this year because there was only one football game I watched. The other two were just so bad. I said I'm cool.
Yeah, I mean, this year's football was bad. But you know, it's not that bad when the Cowboys lose.
100%.
Jesse, don't start with what your Bills have been doing all year.
Hey,
you know,
your team and my team are facing the same issues: injuries,
inconsistency,
inconsistency, and injuries. So I'm not talking shit, but I'm always gonna be happy with
the league. What's been going on with Happy Thanksgiving? It just, like I said, it was just.
You know what, Rell?
It was utter bullshit. It was bullshit.
Rell, that was straight bullshit, and that game was fucking forever. And those refs were the worst and should not be able to officiate another game.
No, I really believe
straight up.
We saw Teddy Hockley so many times, man. I thought it was his show.
The officiating has been terrible this year. That's the reason why this is one of the worst NFL seasons. Like, you'll have literal weeks where you got like the Texans beating the Titans and shit. It's like, what? Texans got how many wins? So it's one of the worst fucking seasons.
To me, that doesn't make it the worst year. It just opens up. Like, there is no team, especially in the AFC, there's no team that's outright great. You know what I mean? Every team has had their hot streaks. Right now, the Colts is on theirs, even though they lost recently. But they are on a hot streak.
Not anymore. After Tom came in there, I had to show him some shit.
I mean, yeah, but they've been running through. They've been winning some good games, and then, you know, the Titans had their run. The Bills haven't been consistent enough. The Bengals had a run. You know what I mean? The Browns had a little run.
We haven't acknowledged it at all, but Jesse, the background for those who are just listening on the pod, Jesse, please take your time to embrace and look at what Jesse got going on in his background. Real festive.
It's very festive. I am a very
real ho ho ho.
I'm a very, very, very ho 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 festive. I am a ho for Christmas or the holidays. I very much love the holidays. Got my Christmas tree. Got my Josh Allen jersey. Shout out to my brother for getting me that for my birthday. And then I got, you know, you can see the emblem. You got Those Millennials.
Rep the
you got
squad.
us up there. It says, "Have you seen us?" And then always the greatest. Y'all have seen this before. It's never not gonna be up. So right. Greatest Laker of all time.
All right, so first and foremost, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Please take this time. I don't ask this enough. I always put this at the end of the pod. Please like, subscribe. If you're listening and watching on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts. It helps the pod go a long way. We have podcast goals, and
somebody's performing, and it ain't 3-6 Mafia. Some dude named Lil Poody. I don't know who that is, but I don't know what the fuck they had set up.
Oh man, you don't know who Lil Poody is, man? Lil Poody.
I got no idea who Lil Poody is.
Oh man. All right.
I can't keep up. I would sound old. I can't keep up with all these littles.
I agree. All right. So obviously we're gonna talk about music on this pod. We're also gonna hit on some sneaker stuff. We're gonna talk about LeBron's COVID situation that's happened with the NBA. He will be able to play tomorrow against the Clippers. With they ended up flexing that game, which is actually.
I was about to say ESPN knocked it off and gave LeBron a call.
That's got to be the first time ever they fucking flexed a LeBron game.
A Laker game.
LeBron Laker game. But first, we want to send our condolences to Virgil Abloh. Of course, he passed and moved on last Sunday. It happened kind of sudden in the best part, and I mean, I'm sure let me not start by saying the best part, but the best part to me anyway was that it was reported not by TMZ. It actually came from his family. They actually released the little excerpt that came out. I don't know about you guys, but when I first saw it, I'm just like everybody else. I didn't think it was real. I didn't necessarily believe it, but once I started seeing more people post about it, obviously, I believed it, and I hate this when this happens, but I've learned so much about Virgil, not just the artist, the visionary, the tastemaker, the creator, the influencer, in the last 72 hours than I've learned, than I knew about him, period. For the most part, he was a private man. Everybody knows that he's from Chicago. He was a part of Rell's man's group with Kanye West. And he also did a lot of other stuff that I've learned. I've learned now. Yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling because when you guys want to jump in and talk about what happened and how did you feel about the loss of Virgil Abloh? Jess?
Go ahead, Rell. You guys are way more sneakerheads than me, so I
would just say just overall, as far as in this thing that we call culture nowadays, I just think that this is literally if we had put a Mount Rushmore of what culture meant, I think you got to put Virgil up there, and that's just because he just embodied everything, the shit that niggas used to talk shit about. We made it cool. Like I said, the fanny packs. Now every nigga wants to rock a fanny pack. Now the big ass Balenciaga sneaker, the looking all goofy and shit. Some of this shit is he made, he broadened, not say he was the only one, but the broadening of style and mixing it in with hip hop culture has made, his legacy last forever. And, the off-white shit, you know what I'm saying? Even if you didn't like it, you noticed it, I always say whether people like what the sound that you're making, as long as they hear you, nigga, you winning, you know what I'm saying? And so and people heard him, and no matter what, Virgil's legacy will live on. I wish there was more pieces and timepieces we could have gotten from him. I appreciate the few pieces I do have. I got some 5s, and then he also designed him and Tim. I can't think of. I don't want to mispronounce the last name, but he's a fashion designer. They did the Kids See Ghosts art cover.
That's the thing I found. That he did the Kids See Ghosts art cover.
I have a shirt.
He helped do the Watch a Throne fucking cover, which is one of the most iconic fucking covers ever. Literally, once you see that cover, you know what it's about. Mm-hmm. He designed I can't even there's so many. I think he helped with Yeezus album again. While the Yeezus album I don't necessarily like, but the album cover is fucking iconic. You can't say anything about that album cover. That album cover is legit the shit. Yeah, man. Virgil. again, same thing with, people have grouped him and Chadwick Boseman together because both of them obviously decided to keep what was going on with them, their health, behind closed doors, which honestly, they have the right to. For some reason, people on the internet were mad about that. Like, there was like, he was like, oh my God, he died alone. Like he was suffering all by himself. And it's like, nah, like, I'm sure his family and his peeps knew exactly what was going on. Like, that's the thing about the internet, when the internet gets interneting.
That, I don't want to change the subject, but that's the one thing I hate is when people see something and then make up their own narrative to it and want to psychoanalyze something that's been said, or like, this ain't psychoanalyzing, but you're basically saying all these things and you don't know anything about his personal life. It's
how do we know he died
where
alone?
did you get this information from?
They immediately jumped to the conclusion that he died alone. And I was just like, nah, I'm sure, like,
made it up.
Like, that's his family knew what was going on. And then again, the same thing that happened with Chadwick, because like on the internet, like, pictures of Virgil come, Virgil will stop and take pictures of anybody. That's what happens on the internet. Like, you see pictures with Virgil with a lot of people, a lot of celebrities. And in his latest ones, people was kind of talking about his appearance and saying like, well, what's going on with him? Like, he doesn't look well. He and not like the concern one was like, man, what's like, what the hell? You look sloppy. Like, what's up with you? But you don't know what he got going on behind closed doors. Same thing with Chadwick. People felt the same way. Like, y'all don't know what he got going on behind closed doors.
Oh yeah, man. This is one of those things where it's like, unfortunately, I'm not. Let me start with saying I know who Virgil Abloh is. Like, of course, I have off weights. I know all. It's when you guys are relaying all this information about him. I know he's worked closely with Kanye. I know all these things. I'm just not so engulfed with the culture that I'm like, it doesn't impact me as much as would it impact y'all. So that's what I would say. But it did give me similarities of what happened with Chadwick and how it makes me feel, because like, Chadwick's birthday just recently passed, and anybody that knows me, like, I really admire his work and the things he's done, but this ain't about him. This is about Virgil Abloh. And the thing about I dislike about what we go through in this world and everything when it comes to all these things is everybody has something to say but doesn't really do their due diligence or try to really like think before they write now. And
everybody's going through something, man. Like, and that's why it's a lot of time
comments and all these things, and you saying something about somebody, and you don't know what he's going through, what she's going through, what they are going through. So, when you do all of that stuff, you're dismissing someone for entertainment, if that makes sense. You're trying to get a laugh or try to get likes or whatever, and unfortunately another person passes away, and another extremely talented Black person passes away.
Right, like, it's crazy
beyond anything.
The thing that gets me, and it feels like, obviously, we're still in a pandemic, so I don't ever like to like lose sight of that. I feel like a lot of loss has happened since the beginning of the pandemic, right? Like, obviously, it kind of jumped with the man behind you, Kobe. And for Virgil, somebody like Virgil, right, who like literally right now is still in the prime of what he's doing, like not an OG, and like, obviously we show respect to when OGs pass. Like, obviously we show love to when OGs pass. But like someone that's like right now changing the culture and shifting culture and like being one of the biggest tastemakers. Like right now he was working on the Nike Louis Vuitton thing. He's literally working with Louis Vuitton.
Right. I mean, he was artistic director in Louis Vuitton, right?
Yeah, like
wasn't the first Black man?
One of the first Black men to do that. And then so I'm gonna change the conversation a little bit. So
can I just say one thing? Real quick.
Yeah.
Just as far as like, I just really want people just to go back and whoever's listening, just go back and just do a little bit more research just about the man he was. Like there's a lot of things we may not know about, and a lot of shit that he made, like I said, the impact on. I just feel like, he was gone, and we really it's like a fucking ghost. It's like we really didn't know this nigga that much. Like, I'll be honest with you, I haven't even seen many interviews with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like other than after he passed, I had to YouTube a couple, but there's not many. Everybody just take the time, because that's the way he lived his life. It doesn't mean he doesn't deserve his flowers still. Take your time. You may not be able to afford some of the merchandise because that's not, everybody got jobs.
I was gonna say something about that, Rell, but not to bring it up, but remember on one of our older podcasts, you kind of
I shitted on it. I did. And you know why I shitted on it? Because I shitted on it more so because of the sneaker community that I've been trying to get out of for the last 10 goddamn years that you got me involved in. I've been able to get out of.
I got you in. Yeah. You shitted on what? On Off-Whites?
Yeah, I shitted.
No, he shitted on Virgil and Off-White.
Yes,
but
I did.
Again, we're not gonna do it today.
I'm not gonna do it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna take back anything I said. Just be not today. You think I give a fuck? Like, no, it wasn't a diss on Virgil. I'm looking at a pair of Off-White vibes right now.
He was just like talking about t-shirts. He's like, I'm Off-White website right now. Why is a white t-shirt $200?
Yeah. I remember that.
And I was just like, Rell. Rell. It's all I was saying. I was like, Rell. It's not for you.
He has a legitimate argument.
And also too,
I was like, Rell. It's just not for you. I was like, if you don't wear Off-White, then like that's your solution. You don't want to wear $200 white t-shirt.
Yeah.
Don't wear Off-White.
They would just Air Force Ones, and then they would just say Air on the side. And I'm like, these is 3 racks. Mine 3 racks.
Mine are all beat up, but I have some Off-White Air Maxes, Air Max 990s. So
no, but I'm talking about if you get them for retail. I got the Sale Jones.
Oh, you talk about I mean, it's gonna be crazy.
But I'm talking about like the Air Force One.
And honestly, it's disgusting what's happened to all his shit too. Like the numbers have gone.
All the Air White aren't all the lows coming out, right? The lows are supposed to be coming out soon.
Yeah.
And it's about to be ridiculous.
Like not just these, but like all the price has gone up. Like obviously on Kobe's, like there's Kobe's that I won before he passed. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get those one. Then I'm gonna put some money to the side. And now it's just like it's just not in the cards. It's not gonna happen for me. And now I kind of feel the same. I feel the same way for these. Like I just feel like a lot of these shoes are just not in the cards for me anymore. So I'm thankful that I got these.
I may have shitted on that.
There's only one shoe.
I never shitted on Virgil the designer. I shitted on his prices. And just because this was anything, I shit on Kanye's prices with these fucking Yeezys sometimes. They're outrageous, Kanye. But we're getting 15 Yeezys this month. You should be able to walk into a Kmart.
I'm glad you brought up Kanye.
At a Kmart? You said a Kmart?
You should be able to walk into a Kmart and get a fucking Yeezy.
Anyway, I'm glad you brought up Kanye because obviously his Drinks Champs episode happened recently where he kind of took some shots at Virgil, if you guys remember correctly.
He didn't take shots at Virgil.
He did.
He did take shots at Virgil.
He felt the way about Virgil because apparently they were both trying to get the Louis Vuitton job, and Kanye wanted it.
But this is Virgil what Ye was talking about when people say when narratives get created and then it spins.
That's what happened.
Because this is just a narrative that you took. That was never factual. You took the narrative of it, and now you're spinning it to something else. So then we give this to other people, and as reporters of the news, and as reporters of the news, we report like you just giving something. And
so check this out. So this is what happened for facts, right? So let's talk about what happened factual, right? Kanye West went on Drink Champs, right?
Yes.
Facts. Kanye West went on Drink Champs and talked about he wanted the Virgil spot that Virgil had at Louis Vuitton, right?
Yes, but what else did he say with that?
He said that he felt the way about Virgil having because he knew Virgil. He knew how much that spot meant. Kanye wanted that spot.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you said I was taking a shot at him.
You don't think that's taking a shot at him a little bit?
No, he just wanted this spot. It was like, damn. He said, but I was happy for him. He never said like, oh, I didn't want Virgil to get it, but he was like, damn.
No. That's not what I was saying. I was just saying.
Yeah, but don't say like, yeah, he's taking a shot at his friend. No, he just
No.
He just wanted it. He wanted that spot. So I don't think it was taking any kind of shots. He just acknowledged that Virgil beat him there, but he was just like jealous, like, something he was like his nigga got something he wanted. Like if your niggas like if there's good jealousy. That was a good jealousy.
Is there good jealousy?
There is such thing as good jealousy.
Okay.
A prime example. You have a family and an old lady. I'm jealous that you have a family and an old lady. You inspired me to be a better man. That's good jealousy. I'm not envious of you. I am trying.
But see, I don't know.
Inspiring,
maybe it's the word
to be a better man.
I was about to say that word I agree with, but I don't think you gotta use.
I don't think you gotta use jealousy. That's not a good jealousy. That's a good jealousy. But it's still a form of I need to be I'm gonna be a better man. I could be like him in this way.
Okay. I guess I can kind of see. I just that the word jealousy, I don't agree with that. But I like you could be inspired by something that your friend is doing.
That's what I'm saying. You could have said inspired. I don't think it just was a shot. But at the same time, he did work with.
I honestly hope he's spoken to him after the Drink Champs episode. That's basically what I was getting to. I hope not that the last time Virgil and Kanye name was in the same breath that Kanye actually spoke to him after that Drink Champs episode. I hope, because we don't know. I don't know. I hope they.
I think there was a photo. I think there was a photo of them together.
Afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. I hope they shared. Yeah. That's all I was.
I may be wrong, but
Ye had a Sunday service shortly after that.
But,
okay.
Yeah.
But prayers up to Virgil and his family, the ones that are harboring his close, anybody that was close to him, any fans that are out there hurting, and we're praying for you. We love you, and thank you. Just like thank you for everything that you created while you were here, and man, like what inspiration! Like the shit that he created. It's kind of crazy.
Also, rest in peace to Mrs. Avant, the wife of the Godfather of music. If you watch that documentary on Netflix, it's unfortunate. We'll get more details as things go on, but it just sucks. You know.
That is completely fucking senseless, man. That really. There's certain things you don't like. There's certain things like you don't even know how or why. You just.
I'm waiting for details to come out. I think we're jumping to conclusions on this one. I think we're obviously it was set a home invasion. So yeah, we'll take that. But
and it's been not to change the subject. It's been a lot of that in LA, and I hope everybody in LA has been safe because all the shit that's going on. Oh, hold up. Hold up.
You
got something to say? What happened?
Something to say. That is totally separate. Like with them, it's terrible. I hope whoever.
That's why I said it. I said it's separate.
Yeah, with them, I hope whoever did this, they rot in wherever place they are, and justice comes to them. Those other motherfuckers, the influencers that want to come to LA and act like LA is this, fun place. Like it's like ain't no.
But it's not just influencers getting got though.
I'm speaking specifically the fucking influencers that want to sit here and be like LA chain and all of this. I'm sorry.
This is the side of Jesse.
I'm not from LA. I grew up outside of LA.
Right.
But everybody I know from LA, from you, Kev, from Chris, Rell, shit, anybody and everybody I know from LA. You don't fuck around in LA. It's always been a thing.
The streets are going street.
Yeah. Every time I've gone to LA, to this day, everybody says be safe and out there. Like the
streets is
you don't
street.
fuck around in LA. And now and then this idea of like, oh, LA has changed. You used to be when you used to be able to do that shit. Please tell me when, because it's never been the idea that you could do that shit.
From the little time I lived there when I was a kid, I moved when I was 6. I just always thought there was 2 parts of LA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like where it was like the shit that everybody else is at, that ain't the shit.
But the thing, what I'm saying is, there was never an idea that you can't get got anywhere though.
You can't got
anywhere in LA. And they sit there and act like that was not a thing.
Did y'all see somebody rob somebody sitting at a restaurant? In LA,
no. I saw all the videos. I seen all the videos.
They really sitting down at a restaurant. They walked in.
I seen all the videos. Speaking from somebody that was in LA all the way up until a senior in high school, who's been robbed plenty of times, once at gunpoint, The streets is going street. You can't. You can't. The streets is going to just do what the fuck
I'm
do.
not gonna feel no. I'm not feel bad for you.
That's basically what I'm. No, see, you can still feel bad. No,
you want to rock gold chains and all that shit. You want to be a white boy and walking. You want to be a white boy rocking.
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about.
You want to be out there walking by yourself. You want to do that walking by yourself? I'm not gonna feel bad for you.
But
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the
niggas should be able to rock comfortable shit and not have to worry about.
Don't sit there and be by yourself then. Niggas don't go by themselves.
So Jesse, you can do with that with Jesse over there, but I'm talking about like the videos of women with their kids getting robbed.
I'm not talking about them.
I am talking about that.
Yeah, so
like
about
women that are.
I ain't talking about that.
Like literally a woman going into her house with a stroller and her gate is closing behind, and two guys follow behind her and take her baby bag and everything on her and leave her there. I'm talking about like shit like that. Like the streets is going street. Like it's Christmas time. People's PPP loans is running out. Money is low.
With that whole situation. You could tell from the way that neighborhood was built when she walked into that damn driveway. Them niggas wasn't supposed to be in that area, so she should have fucking known. Them niggas. No, nigga.
I can't believe we're taking this topic like this.
Kev. Look at the structure of that driveway.
That's crazy.
I'm talking about that.
That is drill with this take, ladies and gentlemen. That is drill with this take. That is a wild take right there.
Do you see that driveway and two random ass niggas dressed like that walking down in a beater, and you just think it's cool like that? I'm crossing.
She had her baby. Like, what are we talking about, Rell?
Here's the thing I will say about that. I'm not agreeing with Rell, but we all went to New York together, right? And we went to Brooklyn.
And Rell saying Mr. Street trying to street, but he was trying to get us got out of New York because he wasn't playing by the rules properly.
How? What did I do in New York?
Rell, we were in the subway and you were talking about how we were out of towners in the middle of a fucking subway.
That's cap, nigga. You ain't even got no video proof of me saying no shit.
Hey, Jess, did that happen or did I dream that? Because I remember Jeff sitting there and be like, "Hey, yo, son," doing one of those. Shout out to Jeff.
Bullshit, nigga. You had 10s on the 2, nigga. I had 10s on the fucking 2.
I understand. But I was just like,
of course, why you gonna side with you?
Why? I'm just like, why are you letting everybody know why are you letting niggas know we're out of towners? That's what my thing. I was just like, why are you letting niggas know we're out of towners? That was my only thing. I was just like, why are you letting them know we're out of towners?
I think was Vanessa with us? Did she ask me something or some shit like that? I said it was fucking reason.
I will say this, Kev. They know we're out of towners from the moment they see us. So
maybe, they for sure. But okay, but that little 10% of them not maybe be like, maybe they're not out of towners. Soon as Rell point out, be like, hey, this is not the one we get off of. We actually got to get off on the red line on this side right here.
That's bullshit, nigga.
Why you
loud?
That's bullshit, nigga.
This is one of the things I remember from when we were
What I was going to say is this.
Where Florida was a different vibe because it's like everybody there is out of town.
First off, I'm good in New York. I'm good in Miami.
Depending on where you was at.
Because me and Rell,
by the way,
places.
That's true. By the way, to bring up I want to bring up Miami real quick because I thought you guys were my friends. I can't believe you guys let this happen. Why'd y'all let me buy this shirt and wear this shirt in Miami? I'll never wear this shirt fucking again. What's wrong with y'all?
When did you wear that shirt? Right here.
I wore this shirt in Miami and none of y'all told me this. I looked at this shirt in my fucking closet.
And I was like, it's very Miami.
I'll never wear this shirt
again. 1995.
I'll never wear this shirt again. I looked at it and I'm like, what was I on? Why none of my homies told me like, yo, Kev?
I don't even remember you wearing that shirt.
Yo, Kev.
I was faded all. I was faded
all.
Is that a button up?
You do wear things.
Yeah, it's a button up.
I don't. I really don't remember you wearing that.
So I just sit there and enjoy it.
Kev. I thought we was boys.
Wait, was that the first day when we went? No, not the first. But like when
it was one. It stayed in my backpack until like the last day, and then we kind of ran out of shirts. I just like, oh, I guess I'll put this on. Man.
Okay, what I was gonna say about LA. Here's the issue, and I'll say this. I'm not sure about all this, but here's my opinion. There's a lot of gentrification going on in neighborhoods and areas that ain't necessarily clean.
Inglewood.
Yeah, there's not necessarily that's still this little apartment complex looks dope. Everything else around it doesn't. Like, you know what I mean? There's still a lot of that going on. So to Rell's point, when he says, you know, they're not supposed to be in that neighborhood, we're gonna find a lot of that happening where people are look like they're not supposed to be somewhere, but it's like they literally live down the street from it because there's just so much gentrification. That is an opinion. I don't know. I can't speak truth to that.
It is like you seen, like I done seen niggas mobbing on the block before. And, you know, I done seen when niggas just been mobbing down the block looking for the oolah. So, and I'm not saying she's supposed to be up on game like that, but the nigga had a face mask on and a beater. And then you wonder why you walked past him so casually and he came back to rob your ass. Maybe you shouldn't have been so goddamn casual. Get in the house. These niggas are up to no good.
She was with a baby.
You think niggas give a fuck? I see the nigga get robbed in front of his grandmama. You think I give a fuck? When it comes to that Skrilla, these niggas don't give a shit. These niggas will rob you in front of your mama. And tell her that we're sorry we're doing this to your son.
I can't believe this happened. I apologize. I know. I know. I know. I'm talking about y'all. Like, I can't believe y'all turned this into this subject where I was literally just saying prayers to. Well, I hope everybody just be safe in LA. Like I said, I know the streets is going street. Just keep your head on the swivel.
Yeah. Okay.
Be aware of your surroundings.
And basically,
and that's it. And I was gonna keep moving. That's all I was gonna say.
PC way of saying what I said, but
it's not. Just keep your head on the swivel.
That's the PC way of saying what I said. But I can't. But obviously, you can't say it like I said. You got to say it that way. You got to say, keep your head on the swivel, and streets are going street, aka niggas gonna rob.
I know we spent a long time on this. I'm just gonna say it's like, you know, a lot of people move around and do things. They think they're a little more safe nowadays. They just do, and I'm not speaking to that. That is fucked up, all that stuff. But I think they're heading towards something that is gonna be that they can't control if they keep gentrifying all around areas and not really fixing the actual issue, just pushing people to a corner. But that's another. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I didn't know it was going to turn there. I apologize to the listeners that y'all two did that shit. I'm actually Jesse. I'm ashamed at you, Jesse. Rell problem. I expect this from you.
You're ashamed you not giving a fuck about influencers. Y'all want to rock chains. Y'all want to do everything acting like you black.
It wasn't just influencers. It wasn't just influencers. I was just like I said.
You said it wasn't just influencers. I was specifically talking about them. I was specifically talking about them.
I was just talking about everybody. Please, prayers and light to everybody.
Why you guys nice to everybody? Fuck that.
All right, so right now we're gonna hit on music real quick. First I want to start to Adele. Shout out to Adele. Dropped her album recently. Obviously, I know Jesse and Rell have interesting takes on Adele. I'm gonna let them do that because they're already in their bag tonight for some reason. I want to give a shout out to Adele for, in my mind, being the biggest artist ever to accept a Las Vegas residency. I think it's reported that she's going to get paid $1.5 million per show in Las Vegas, which is fucking incredible.
Current star. She's like the first
still in her prime.
Yeah, to go do.
And anytime I bring up Adele, shout out to Rich Paul. So like,
get that bag.
I want you.
Wait, Jesse, who talking about her or him?
She got more bag than he do.
Yeah,
but that's cool.
Fine.
That's cool because when they got the bag, that's what we like, you know.
Oh, is that what you like, Rell, when they got the bag? Anyway, Jess, bring up. I'm gonna just let you go, man, and talk about your Adele take, man. Get your shit off.
You're a bitch, Kevin.
I like how you did that. You just threw me under the bus. Because he's making it sound like I got something bad to say, and now everybody listens from here on is just listening like this nigga's about.
You had an interesting take about Adele and her music, and I thought it should be shared.
Okay, well, I listened to like the first 4 songs of the album. She's singing beautifully. Some of the music themes. I love the song about her talking about being with her child or
singing to her son.
Yeah, missing being with her child or not. The theme of that song, I do love that. My only thing is like, it's hard to do this with her, versus like a Drake. But it's the same take. It's like you want to see something. You want to see a. I have the word in my head, but now it's just blanking. But
artists?
No, like not even just saying the artist. Like, but you want to see some sort of growth from the artist, right? Like some sort of like, yeah, you can talk about more topics in depth and being more in depth and stuff, but it's like one of those things where I listened to the first 3 songs and I was like, oh, I know where this is going. Like, and it's kind of like, I know that is where she draws inspiration from, but you want to see more, I guess, exploration and using those topics. I'm not sitting there saying change your whole style up and everything, but just something with growth or, you know, something different a little bit. And not saying the whole album had to be different, just something that unexpected, I would say. Something that would be like, all right. And now that being said, it is harder with her because she sings the way she sings and the way she's, that is her style. Yeah, a little more experimental. Shout out to Chris. Thank you. Yeah, a little more experimental with her, with what she's doing. That being said, I haven't listened to the entire album. So this is just a take from listening to her past albums, because I had this feeling on her past album where it's just like a little more experimental. I would like that to be in there, but like Bomani Jones says, shout out to Bomani Jones, I don't do recreational sadness. So if I'm not in that mood, I'm not gonna go seeking it. And it seems like if you're gonna listen to Adele, you get that, and that's what you're gonna get. And hey, you're gonna be in a mood. And I'm not saying that she's not making heartfelt music. I'm not saying that she's not making great music. I just, want to see an expansion of it or experimentation of it, and using different styles is all I would say.
Well,
that being said, my bad. That being said, it is a lot easier for Drake to do that than it is for an Adele. So nothing negative I would say about her, but that's it.
Her music is always gonna be, sadness of white women is something that America loves. And it just, it's just
white tears.
If it ain't Taylor, it'll be
oh my God.
So just America loves just a white woman in pain. It's kind of unfortunate when you really think about it. But in the grand scheme of things, I really like, I like Adele, her music. I just don't. Just as far as the artist, it's like, here's my thing. It's like, I'm low-key, and if I'm Rich Paul too, this is how I'm feeling too. It's like, you keep, Adele, everything cool. We love you. Everything is, and I understand you're coming to a new territory of life, but it just seems like, what else is gonna happen when you don't have sadness? Like, I mean, some people some people say if you don't have sadness, you go like this is your claim to your music, to your inspiration, to your art. But it's like, well, what happens? Like, give us the other side of it. you know, she gave us a little piece of it, you know, about the trials and traumahood of you know, of growth as a woman into motherhood, which I can understand and appreciate of her songs and that when she expressed herself. But I'm just saying, I just expected something different. Like, you mean, like, hell, there's not even a rolling in the deep. You know what I'm saying? It's just like every song make you want to go to the blade. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't, you know, and I don't even know if that's good for, you know, her or even her fans, or it's like, you were rich, you glowing, you know what I'm saying? I expected a ode to Rich, you know, I expected a song called Rich on the album, but I'm just saying, you know, these white Charlies love getting with a black man, they get their glow, you know what I'm saying?
That's not her first, though. That's not her first.
She
dipped in a little earlier.
Adele, she been rolling in some niggas as well, not just rolling in deep. But I just wish as an artist she could do so much more, because vocally she could do whatever she want. But I will say, I mean, I don't know, I'm probably never gonna see a Residency because I ain't got no old ladies in my life. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure her Vegas Residency is gonna be pretty awesome.
You don't?
Huh? I'm not talking. I'm not kissing nobody in the mouth. If that's the case, then
we don't do that over here. We don't do that over there. We don't do that at the Rell's residence. We don't kiss nobody in the mouth.
But
I have nothing to add to that. You guys smoked that. Y'all did y'all thing.
No, don't you do that to me.
Y'all smoked it.
Don't you do that to me. Look,
shout out to Adele.
Okay, no, here's what I would say. All right, so there's this thing. I'll compare it to this.
Oh, man.
I will compare it to this as an actor. There's this thing about Denzel where people say Denzel is Denzel in every movie. He does the same as that stuff. He's the same. I would argue that's incorrect. You know what I'm saying? I would say that's wrong. He does vary himself. But, you know, most like movies, if you know, like an action thriller or an action movie, yeah, he's going to be Denzel as the role. Like, that's what it is. It's like The Rock, the same way. It's like they're going to do that shit that they, you know, to make it entertaining. But with her, I'm just saying, for me, it's just experimentation. You can still do the same thing, still same topic, same talking points, everything. Just are you able to find different ways of expressing it? That's all.
I'm just gonna reiterate my shout out to Adele.
Always doing this, man.
Shout out to her for having the power for what she did for making Spotify change up their
Which was some bullshit. Can we talk about
their random thing?
Why do these sites do this shit? Or not sites? These like companies do shit.
Streaming service.
Any of these services do shit like where it's just like, oh, we're gonna just change this thing into this. Like Instagram and Facebook doing, instead of showing you
Meta
fucking order, they just show you random shit.
Like, don't get me started on Instagram. I gotta random and save it for Instagram, but this is not the platform.
That like it shows it 2 days ago. Like it happened 2 days ago, and it's like fuck. It don't really matter at the end of the day, but it's still like it's stupid. Like. They do the, Apple putting U2 on our phones. Like we asked for that bullshit.
I got some words for Mr. Zuckerberg, but that was
just gonna run the ball with him all day.
That was a lot. I was gonna talk about this a little bit. So, like I said, I just want to talk about that for Adele. None of us is like super duper listen to music. None of us are like super like that's not our. I would argue that's not really any of our range, but we can appreciate the sound.
No, her sound is incredible. And don't get me wrong, her voice and sound is incredible. Yeah. She has a timeless song, but like I said, will you play it 20 years from now? I don't think so.
I'll tell you this much. I'll say this. I will say this. There's not very much white women that are in my liked songs. that I have as much as I have Adele. Adele is like all over my like songs. I would also say this. There's not even shit. I don't even know how many white women there actually is.
I would say I got Adele. I got the Hansons.
But it's always going to the Hansons. What the fuck you got the Hansons?
The Hansons are not women.
It doesn't matter if they are women.
So I want to talk about this when we talk about Virgil. Yeah.
Bop was a bop.
You could have said Gwen Stefani, and I would have accepted that.
he was trying to do his disrespectful thing. All right, so I want to talk about this. I haven't talked about any sneaker shit for a while on podcasts for a minute, and I apologize for that. But this one is actually something that's I haven't heard it anywhere. This is literally from me. So recently, first and foremost, prayers and I hope a speedy recovery for John Morant. Recently, his NBA commercial with Memphis came out. I don't know if you guys remember seeing. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Obviously, the
is he getting a SIG?
I'm gonna get to that. The name of the commercial is called Says Who, and it has a Moneybag Yo, and it has it's very ingrained from where he's from South Carolina, and his upbringing to Memphis, and Nike obviously is stamping Ja to make him the next, in my mind, the next probably signature athlete for them. And this is where I go to a person we haven't talked about on this pod in a while, Kyrie Irving. What I gather, Nike is not really happy with Kyrie Irving, obviously, because obviously not only just because of the vaccination situation where they have the signature shoe that's already been made that they cannot sell because their athlete is not playing in them. Mm-hmm. And not only is he not playing in them, he literally shitted on them before they even came out. Mm-hmm. And then tried to take it back, which nobody believed him. At least I didn't believe him. I think if we ever see Kyrie, I think Nike is gonna cut ties with Kyrie Irving, and award Ja Morant with his own signature shoe. And this is much different circumstances because the way Kyrie Irving got a signature shoe was literally based off of Steph Curry and his rise to stardom. I think I've talked about this story on the pod before. If you haven't heard it before, I'll say it quick. During Stephen Curry's negotiations for his deal with Nike, he was planning to stay with Nike. He wanted his own signature. Stephen Curry wasn't the Stephen Curry that we all know and see today. So keep that in mind if you can. He went into a meeting. The person that was in charge of said meeting fucked up and put the wrong name for Stephen Curry on the projector, and that already said, so Steph in his representation was in there and was like, you guys not even showing him the right respect. So that's when Steph went to shop around. He went to Adidas and everywhere, and then he ended up landed at Under Armour because not only did they offer him, they didn't have the capital to offer him a bag. They offered him a signature shoe and stake in the company, which he wanted with Nike.
Which I don't blame Nike for not giving him that.
At that
point of his,
but
who the hell do you think you are?
I will say this, that Nike literally, I mean, now I'm sure Nike's Nike. Nike's fine. But they did create their biggest rival with Stephen Curry for the past couple of years because they let him go. Like, nobody's buying Hardens. Nobody's buying Dames.
Is anybody buying Steph's?
Yes. They're being bought in the Bay. Crazy. Not even just in the Bay. They're being bought. They're being bought. Like, they're like the equivalent to what Iverson's was, what the Reeboks was when we were coming up. When people,
like what? Look wise or performance wise? Because look wise,
I'm not talking about look wise. I'm talking about like just people buying them as
they're
their number.
Popularity.
They're the alternative. Like if
I will say this, it's kind of a stretch to say like the Iversons, because the Iversons, like I see where Rell's going, because the Iversons,
like
I just was looking up some Iversons and I was like, I want those.
No.
I was looking up some.
That's my favorite. The question one is my favorite shoe of all time. So like you're not gonna get any complaint from me.
To clarify what Kev is saying, and popularity of the player alone, is what is.
It's for the kid that goes into the fucker or wherever, and he sees everybody on his team is wearing Kyrie's, Bron's, KD's, PG's, whatever, and he wants to be different. He doesn't want to buy those. He's like, oh, I'm gonna buy these Currys. Like that was the same thing. Like Shaq went on sneaker shopping recently and talked about that as well with Joe LaPuma, and he basically said like, yo, like when my shoe came out with Reebok, like at first I was trying to keep my shoe away from Jordan, like put me somewhere else, like don't put me against them. But then like I started playing better, and I was like, nah, you know what, I'm here, like put me, and whoever's gonna rock with me is gonna rock with me, like put me next to Michael. And I feel like it's the same way with Steph and in the Curry brand, now that he has his own brand and it's not necessarily just Under Armour. I say this all to say that I think Kyrie, like again, Kyrie's fine. I'm sure he has his money. Everything is, I'm sure, whatever decision he make is for him, and I hope.
So my question my question to you is this: what makes you think, or why haven't they cut ties yet? Then
I don't think they can right now. It's still a Curry contract.
I don't see them cutting ties.
I think they can cut ties.
For what? I think no conduct detrimental.
Right?
No, but not only they have grounds now, because not only did you publicly come out and trash a shoe, and tried to disassociate yourself with it, but your one job is to go out there and perform with this shoe. Again, I know it's weird, COVID.
I think
it's different. It's different.
Because you're on a slippery slope, because you can't. I mean, like I said, I don't believe. I just want to know how many SIGs was he lined up for, because that will also determine whether they pull the plug or not.
They haven't re-signed. They haven't re-signed him. He got extended when he became a signature athlete, and that was it. He's on his 8th sneaker, I think. So, I would think that his contract is coming up soon.
I would say this, and this is really what I think. This is a big part of this, and this is honestly, I don't even know if this is a COVID Kyrie thing, but I think it's big because I feel like there's a certain level of likability you gotta fucking have when you're selling your shoes. I feel like you have to be a likable player. The fact that Kyrie is a dick to the media, pretty much dick to anybody, whoever he interacts with. He talks about the world of Kyrie. He's done this whole thing. He's just fallen off so far deep into where the Uncle Drew character that made those shoes, I'm like, damn, this dude is fine. Like, I don't even see that person anymore. Like, and it's unfortunate, and I don't know what he's gone through or what's happened to him, or what changed him to not enjoy this and not enjoy this anymore, because it doesn't look like it's fun. And I don't even know what, like, his team. I mean, I'm not honest if it's the vaccination this year, but I don't know. Which is, like I said, I believe that there's a certain level of responsibility you have if you're gonna sell these sneakers to at least to either showcase them, you do something. But it's like you can't just sit back and collect bags and just expect everybody just to keep giving it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, people just think he signed on a dotted line, Nike should pay him, but like it's a working relationship. They expect you to go out there and perform.
What they want is him to retire, which I think he should.
They should, like, again, I've said this on the previous podcast. Kyrie only has a signature shoe is because of Steph Curry. That's it. That's the reason why.
Can I ask a question? It's or not hypothetical. It's more of a what if. So, say, because there is a number of NBA fans, the NBA population, I should say, that feel Kyrie should be able to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't, if Nike dropped his shoes
Yeah.
in that, situation of him not being able to play and everything, wouldn't they actually do well?
Yeah, I would see what you're
I
saying.
actually think they
because
would've
he
did
shitted
well.
on him, he shitted
Well,
on him.
that's another thing. I think
shitted on him.
obviously we I think I don't know if we talked
there's
about it
that
here.
part, but I actually feel like it would have did well because
I don't know if we talked about it on here or I remember talking about this, but I don't know if we talked about it on mic or whatever.
if we did,
obviously we all know
bring
about
it back up.
we all
Yeah,
we all know, right? We all know about like basically the traffic jam that's happened at the Long Beach Pier with all the ships and stuff, right? Like we're all aware of
that is
that.
affecting my job. Yeah,
That's affecting literally every part of every industry.
Yep.
There are millions of Nike sneakers that are stuck on boats that haven't come over. Nike just released a press release. I want to say like 2 weeks ago, talking about there will be shortages at Foot Locker and Champs and all these other sneakers for newer product like the fall collections of 2022. Yeah, like so.
Yeah,
that's already kind of happened. So I think that because like the LeBron 19 hasn't officially dropped in the US. It's dropped in Japan and a couple other places, but it hasn't dropped yet. So I think that could be a reason about the Kyrie, but like no, again, as far as I know, and as far as long as I've been paying attention to this world, nobody's gonna buy your signature shoe if you're not playing. In my mind, like nobody's getting like I don't care how big your fan base is. Like
I
nobody's gonna buy,
but I feel like
the Kyrie 8 when you've already shit on them and it went viral. Everybody saw that you shitted on them.
That's the problem.
You said you had nothing to do with this sneaker, and then you're not playing. Which again, by choice. Some people feel like it's by choice. Kyrie might think it's deeper than just choice.
But I will say this. I'll say this. KD didn't play for 2 years, and they dropped KD's shoes.
Right.
But also,
right.
KD
but he was coming.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with KD. That's KD didn't play for 2 years because of the injury.
I believe some of this likability, it becomes like I said, Kyrie has gone from a marketable person to you can't market him. He's fucking.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying to market him. I'm saying there's this number of people. I'm saying as a Nike executive, how does this conversation? Does the conversation come up as like, hey, he actually, without playing, has a group of people outside of the stadium, outside the arena, and imagine those group of people in support of Kyrie buying the shoe. In support of Kyrie, people just
there are people that are supporting his stance.
There's
a lot of people.
Like a martyr type shoe.
Exactly what I'm trying to get to. I don't want to call him a martyr, but it's that mentality, the idea that he's a martyr.
Same thing with like the band. Same thing with like the band Jordan 1. People thought it was banned. I can see that.
Like I don't.
The stance on COVID, Kyrie.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you market him because you can't market him because of his stances and everything.
Yeah, you can't
go against it.
And
but
you can also release it and make all the cash off of it.
I honestly think it doesn't have anything to do with Kyrie. I think it is because they're a partner with the NBA, and you cannot.
Also, too, there's it a coincidence that Kyrie?
I think it's more of that.
He wasn't gonna play this year,
huh?
Is it a coincidence that Kyrie shitted on the shoe?
No, because he thought he was gonna play. He thought he was gonna play this year. He didn't know COVID was gonna turn like this.
He did take it back. He ended up taking it back.
Because they probably made him.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Windhorse said on this was a pod a while. If I forget said on a pod that Kyrie thought two things. One, he didn't know the New York regulations was going to be what they are.
Yeah, he knew he was going to.
He didn't know they were going to be this strict. He didn't know New York was going to be similar to LA and be that strict where you had to be vaxxed to do anything indoors like that. Also, he also thought the mayor of New York was going to cut up some slack.
Yeah. Yeah.
He thought the mayor of New York was gonna cut him.
Oh
some
yeah,
slack.
Kyrie, the mayor who was the mayor of the people.
This was reported by Windhorse.
The mayor of the people gonna cut a special service.
Well, the thing was, the team was trying to get it. The team did what they did.
The team was trying to do it. Yeah,
The
team did everything in the practice facility to make it a private facility where he can, and it worked for a little bit.
And it was like, it comes down to that people with money can find loopholes.
Yeah.
And so he always thought.
And he thought he was going to be able to.
Yeah, he thought he was going to be able to, get that loophole.
Finesse a little
bit.
But yeah, so.
Mike, but all I'm saying is like, the reason why I say it's more of a NBA thing or like their partnership with the NBA is because the NBA can't have you marketing a player or have you dropping a player's shoe that goes against everything they're trying to do, which is,
right.
Hey, you don't want to
they put their flag down.
Yeah,
they're pro-vax. They promote it.
You don't want to incite that mob.
Business must go on. They're like, hey, take this shot. Business must go on. Yeah, like
and you don't want to do that. So
yeah,
but I don't see, like, Nike has shown that they just withstand shit. And they have been doing this. So I feel the only way I feel like, hey, the Kyries are not gonna, like, they cut ties with Kyrie is that it's just he wasn't selling in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, but his shoes were selling. Like his is probably one of the most selling shoes with Nike.
I don't see them cutting ties with him. That's why.
I will say this. I just, like I said, and we have to wrap soon because we've been kind of going long. But I will say this. I started with this was saying, well, bigging up Ja Morant. Shout out to Ja. Like, if he gets that and it sucks that he hurt himself when he's been having such a great season and he looked like he was going to hit the criteria to get his own SIG. I'm of the belief that there's too many signature athletes. So, like, I'm already lukewarm on that. I feel like there's way too many. I feel like the water is too saturated. I don't. I would
just say get ready for more because
I would just say this.
Everybody has a brand.
If Ja got a SIG before Book, though, because I think Book deserves a SIG before Ja.
I don't think Book's getting a SIG. He would have to leave Nike to get a SIG. They're not giving a SIG.
But why would they give Ja a SIG before they give Book a SIG?
You don't think you don't think if they don't work it out with Vanessa Bryant that they will not turn around and give it to Book?
Book would have to win a title.
He already made to a finals.
Book would have to win a title. I don't see Book getting a SIG. But
why can Ja get a SIG over Book?
I think younger players, younger kids like him. He's young, he's athletic, he's fun. I think people just similar to like why Kyrie got a SIG, where it's like they saw him as the rival for Steph. Like
I think
that's similar.
The player who deserves the SIG is probably is Ant-Man. I think that's who really deserves
that. Ant-Man does deserve a SIG.
That's gonna be the dude. That's the cash cut. Somebody, I don't know if it's Nike, but somebody got to line up, pay the man the bag ahead of time. But he's gonna be marketable. He's gonna be marketable. He needs to get out of Minnesota.
I was just about to say, I'm gonna tell you right now. He's not getting a SIG. He's in Minnesota. He's not getting no SIG in Minnesota.
That's the only reason. That's the sad part. The only reason he's not going to get a SIG is because he's in Minnesota. Unless,
but you give one to somebody in Memphis.
Unless Minnesota gets really good.
But you'll give somebody a SIG to somebody in Memphis.
Somebody's exciting as Ja Morant, yeah.
And Ant-Man ain't exciting as Ja Morant.
Ja Morant has been a one-man show,
I think Ja's in
the shit out of Triple J.
Nah, Ja is in the. he just threw me off right now. I'm over here trying to formulate my thought. You disrespecting the hell out of Triple J, and I'm like,
a one-man show.
Is he talking about Justin Jackson Jr., the guy that can't stay healthy? This is first season he's been healthy. Jaren Jackson Jr., I'm sorry, whatever.
Out of all the people, you could have said, what's his name?
Who the heck?
You could have said slow-mo. Anyway, Shout out to Ja. I hope like speedy recovery, and if you do get a signature
it's
shoe,
great
shout
that
out
it's
to
not.
you.
It looked like okay, not to make it about my Bills, but it was a non-contact injury like Tre'Davious White. Tre'Davious White tears his ACL. Ja, I'm happy that he didn't tear his ACL, and it's just a sprain. Thank God.
Right. Thank God. All right.
Those
So,
non-contact injuries are ridiculous.
does anybody else have anything else to say before we get out of here?
Nah.
I'm gonna save my my Facebook, Instagram, Meta shit on Zuckerberg thing for another pod. I did want to say before we get out of here, Rell, do you have your picks close by hand, or do you want to get your picks off? Or are you good?
I got him. Give him a second.
Okay.
While he's doing that, let's talk about some future things. Hey, everybody, look out for that one-on-one with Rell. We're gonna do that. Hey, look on that.
Editor, add a laughing and clapping track right here in the pod.
Yeah,
editor, add it right now. We're workshopping the name. I think it Rell Talks.
Rell Talks. I like that. Like
Rell Talks. Rell Speaks.
Rell Talk. It got to be Rell Talk because it's like real talk. Rell Talk.
Rell Talk. I think
like
Rell
that.
Talks
like
is the great name for it. Yeah, he negotiated this in Miami at a little breakfast spot, but he never.
For the 3 people that saw this, for the 3 people.
Yeah, on live. We were on live. I still got the video.
Mm-hmm.
So he negotiated this. He's a good negotiator. It's gonna be like 10-15 minutes, and all you're gonna do is just get Rell hot taking you to death. Just imagine.
Is that what you get?
Just imagine Stephen A. Rell going hard at you.
I think for the first episode, I honestly have reached out to several women I was involved with in the past, and I was going to bring them on one by one.
Oh, now you want to bring them on. Now you want to bring them on.
Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe. I can't stress this enough. We have goals that we are trying to set, and we're moving in the right direction. We're moving more content. We're giving you the Rell pod. Apparently, this has been highly regarded. Rell's been saying that they wanted more Rell in the pod, and we're just like, look, you're so big, you can get your own pod. And
Side note, there was a fight during the Bone Thugs and Harmony 3-6 Mafia.
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised because this nigga, what's his name, said we gonna go at you, you devil worshiping niggas. I was like, this ain't gonna be good, man.
Damn. Yeah, the internet's going in there.
Niggas is nigga.
I would. The editor should name the pod that, but this is a family show to some extent for a little bit.
I'm trying to get canceled.
I don't think they're gonna allow it. I don't even think they're gonna allow
lastly, too, I just want to add this before we go.
Yeah, picks. Get your picks off.
Also, three picks. Also, I want to go Tampa Bay playing Atlanta. 11.5. Hit that. I got the Vikings -7 on the road versus Detroit, and Bengals -2 at home versus the Chargers. Chargers can't stop the run for shit. Bengals
Bill.
What?
You just took like all 3 bits of this text right now. But continue though.
What do you mean? Hold on, but Kev, you understand it's gambling. Do you understand how gambling works? If you can get plus money on these on picking 3 teams, you're gonna go with those. So these are the.
All right, well, give us a wild card then. That nobody.
Yeah, give us underdog. Underdog. Give me a big underdog.
On this week, shit, it's I would say Jacksonville playing Jacksonville coming to LA. The 13.5 points, and Rams are overrated as fuck.
Damn, Super Bowl Rams.
So you think?
All right.
So you think they
cover
now? Then we sometimes gotta explain this stuff because I learned this that they got them at 13.5 points. It's like if they come if they come within 13 points, if they just lose by 7, you win money
Yeah.
taking the Jags. Not
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you
So
will,
Jags, anything 14 or more Jags, you don't win.
exactly.
So if I bet on the Jags, yeah. So I like the Jags this week as well. So that's a wild card because the Jags are coming out here, Jalen Ramsey. But I really think something's wrong with this Rams team. But also, lastly, and I got to get this in. Thank you, Lincoln.
Oh yeah.
Thank you,
Oh
Lincoln
yeah.
Riley. Thank
He
you,
already
Lincoln
turned
Riley.
2 of them.
Thank you, Lincoln
He
Riley.
turned 2 of them.
For everything, whatever you're gonna do, whatever you do, Lincoln, whatever you need from me while you in LA, you call me, Lincoln. I'm there.
Now you ain't from there no more.
Lincoln, whatever. He was out here. He was out in Desert Palms at Bishop Gorman yesterday.
Did you pick him up?
No, I didn't pick him up, but I'm gonna pick him up. But Lincoln, thank you, Lincoln. Thank you. I just want to say that. I just want to get that off. You dig in right there. Lincoln Riley, thank you.
We need some
All
linemen.
right.
We need some linemen.
Thank you for listening to Those Millennials Podcast, and we're out.
Thank you, Lincoln Riley.
Oh, I should stop the recording. I'm sitting there waiting for somebody else.
Thank you. I'm glad. When I saw that news, I said, "Ain't no way. This nigga gonna get on the." And did you see that deal they gave?